American Association of Directors of Nursing Services, and we're excited about our facility-wide assessment to facilitate the new regulation effective November 28th, 2017. This is a quick demo for you on how to utilize the product. First, let's review the licensing restriction. This is a terms of agreement, and this tool is intended to be purchased for one facility and for your interdisciplinary team to work on this. And also, it is only as good as it is of the information that you put into it. Just remember that. Next is when you purchase, you will get an Excel spreadsheet book and you will get a user's guide. And when you open up your Excel spreadsheet, you'll be asked, what would you like to do today? A couple of the things that I want to demonstrate to you is the user's guide, radial button, the blue button up above, our survey report, and our licensing restriction, as we just talked about. But let's take a look at the user's guide. This is a companion. It's designed for you guys to work with it. So opening that up and sharing this with your interdisciplinary team is very important. It'll talk about how to do the navigation throughout the workbook, and it will also discuss with you different features of analytics that we have available in the workbook. So let's get back to the workbook. One of the things to consider as you're walking through this is you have two options that are major to you, would be entering information and printing reports. So let's scroll down and take a look of what type of information is being asked of us. We have a census and capacity and staffing ratio, medical disease and condition, physical function and care needs, capacity-based training, staff resource list, and we have contract, MOU, agreement, medical equipment, non-medical equipment, policy and procedure, and planning for enhancement. Already, I think you can see that this is a lot of information, but this is a federal required assessment. So let's click into census and condition. I've already kind of started inputting some of the information. So I'm going to put in the date, which is the most important date of all, would be the last day that information will be considered for this assessment completion. On top of our screen, you'll notice, and this is consistent throughout each section, instructions, a user guide, survey report, licensing restriction, and return to start. You can always click this and go back to the first page of what would you like to do today. The instruction feature gives you the exact page number out of the user's guide. So this is 11 through 13 if we needed guidance on, okay, what does all of this mean? And then also this button, the user's guide itself, will direct you to the website if you misplaced the printed copy of the user guide after purchase. So let's take a look at what the user guide looks like for us when it comes to that page. Let's type on page 11. So here we are, the facility resident population. It has a kind of like a note here to warn us that we really should start with census and capacity. That's how the design works, and then work from there by completing your medical disease and condition, then your physical function and care need, then moving into competency-based training sections. You can complete it without it and doing it different ways. It just, the feature works better, and we'll show you here in a minute. So the census capacity and staffing ratio section goes through considerations for you. It also offers screenshots of what to expect as you're completing. And then we have instructions for you to take a review and know exactly what is being and how you're going to collect your data. So let's go back to our census, our workbook itself. So we put in the type date of 8/7/2017. It does a snapshot for us, and then there is a monthly trending available. What's some of the features that I feel that is real important for us to know is that we're able to, let's say it's now called C Hall. I can freely type in the hall or the unit or the neighborhood, depending on the design of your facility. I have 28 patients on my unit 2, and you'll notice that it's highlighted in pink. That means I haven't completed the capacity yet. So if I put in, let's say 26 in my capacity, it still doesn't turn clear or white in background because it's above capacity. So let me go ahead and fix that and put in, let's say 31. You see how the 28 goes now, it's clear or white? And I don't have private rooms on this particular unit, nor bariatrics, nor any specialty rooms. But this is a nice feature during our beta testing they requested that we have a breakout of nursing hours and non-nursing hours in the total 24-hour time period. So adding on to those, I can add in any number basically that I might have applied to the nursing unit itself. So let's say I have 38 hours in day shift and 38 hours in afternoon, and I already entered the 24-hour. Then further on down for the non-nursing hours. Over on this side, this gives you the total for the capacity of the units of 1 through 20. Some of you might be wondering, well, why did we do a specialty care units and we highlighted them out? Well, sometimes we have different staffing measure flows and we have different unique patterns that we want to answer to, and we might have a segregation of certain units that are more specialized, require different training and more of a focus. You don't have to use these. These are just available for you in order to better define your hours and census and capacity. But if you notice up here, we now have overall census for our 24-hour snapshot is 53, and our overall capacity is 62. Pretty slick. So now I want to return back to the Start Here button, or I could have used the radio button above. And let's take a look at what medical disease and conditions offer. Notice that here's the date of my snapshot. Get my little button here. Right here is a snapshot date. That flows automatically, so I don't need to enter that. And then as I navigate through this, there's certain questions that are being asked of us. In column C, new or revised P&P required, we answer a yes or a no. Unique competency training requirements, or do we need to have a specialist? So I kind of pre-filled this in, but there is a drop box. I can answer yes or no, or I don't have to utilize this feature. This, though, what the cool part of this is that it flows to the other portions of the sections of this facility-wide workbook, which will help you later for planning on competency training, specialized resources that you have in your facility. Also, one of the dynamic features here is it does the total census of percent, and this does flow to your survey report that you can print. One of the other really important features I would love to show you that we found is very functional for us is the ability to add unique diseases. Let's say that you have gastric bypass residents. Maybe you have 4 of them. As we know, they provide different types of competencies and trainings, and other staff members need to know what we can and cannot give. For example, of how much water we're allowed to have at bedside for them if they are newly recovering from gastric bypass. What about if I want to add something? All I have to do is click Add a Row. And it could be, I had special training done with my nurses because we took care of LVAD patients. And then maybe I thought, well, maybe that was about 4 years ago and we haven't had an LVAD patient yet. What do I do next? I just delete that row. Pretty slick, isn't it? So I'm going to click here for Start Here, and we're going to go back to the Start button. And I want to show you the print section area. We have the print reports. We also have the option reports for all of us who enjoy reviewing the information as needed. We can print every single section that we complete. So let's take a look at where our survey report is. Here we have the opportunity to review who has participated in or contributing to the facility-wide assessment. Let's say that we have Adam also completed portions of this, and he happens to be our quality assurance, oops, gotta spell it right, quality assurance coordinator. He also participated. And here again is our add a row or delete a row. There will be manual entries that you do need to complete in your finalizing survey report. This date you will need to enter when this is completely done. You might be collecting your data for 8/7/2017, but you need to have your QAA approve the final survey report that'll be issued to the surveyors. So that might be 8/21/2017 prior to printing. That's why that feature is offered to you. So let's return back to the beginning. Let's take a look at what the printed reports look like. You'll have an option, and let's do a preview. This is pretty slick. If you notice, even though I didn't fill in some of these, it's okay because I have my total overall for my census and capacity. Our staffing hours did not flow. And then as I further go down, it's done in a landscape form that can be easily put into a survey readiness book. And after I check out of that, I end up going right back to my survey report. So let's return to what would you like to do today? And I just want to say thanks again, and I hope this quick demo demonstrates what we're hoping that you will find very excited. I know our beta testers were very excited, and they have offered much enhancements that we included because they were your peers, administrators and directors of nursing that were utilizing this. And once again, we do have a terms of service agreement, and that this is intended to be for one building, one group at a time. Thanks again. This is Amy Franklin signing off.